in campus, I failed like a paper. Then I had to report to my parents. And the first thing that my mom told me was, kuvunjika kwa mwiko sio mwisho kupika. I think that just spurred some confidence.
Has it been growing the business?
The first lesson I would say in growing a business, I would actually encourage anyone, be employed first. Because when you're employed, you learn systems, you learn processes, managing people, you learn about leave days, offs, salary has to be paid at the end of the month.
And what are the lessons from your end in terms of now scaling your business?
For any entrepreneur that would want to get into business, I think the first thing is team. Work with people.
Good evening and welcome to the Late Night Business. My name is Ian Dennis, and as always, each and every week we have an interesting show lined up. Today I have with me a gentleman who's literally a specialist in two particular areas, an accountant on one, an engineer on the other. But before I get to introduce my guest, I'd like to remind you that you're here at the Capital Club, the place you need to be as an entrepreneur, because at the Capital Club you have access to a wide variety of amenities. Where we are is just one of the meeting rooms. There's the spa, there's the gym. You can actually get to entertain your guests at the restaurant. So if you're an entrepreneur out there, join and be a part of the Capital Club. I'd also like to remind you that two of my books, one Business Conquest and the other Food for Thought, are actually available at the Textbook Center. So grab a copy so that you can actually get to learn one or two of my nuggets. The gentleman I'm speaking about is Ken Kariuki, who's the CEO of 720 Holdings. He's an engineer. He's actually a chartered certified accountant. And he starts so much more of having a conversation behind the scenes, and so much that you're going to learn from this particular conversation. So Ken, karibu sana to the show.
Thank you very much.
Nice
Ian.
to see you.
Pleasure.
It's quite interesting that you're an SCCA and an engineer. You
Yeah,
hold
sure.
two particular disciplines for one.
Yeah, sure.
But before we get into a conversation, the first question I like starting with all my guests, what exactly are you most grateful for today?
For the day, I think the thing I'm grateful for is the fact that I'm alive. That is one. And the other thing is optimism in life. I think that's one of the things I'm grateful for. Optimism. That's something that I keep working on. But for today, I'm grateful for it once again. And the fact that I'm alive and to be here.
What keeps you optimistic? Because in a world where there's so many things that's happening that should
No,
there's so much that should actually be discouraging us.
No,
what keeps you optimistic?
I think it's a personality, and we can call it from experience, because I can't say it's one of the things that I can attribute to being optimistic, but out of experience. I remember once in campus, I failed like a paper. Then I had to report to my parents, and the first thing that my mom told me was, kuvunjika kwa mwiko sio mwisho kupika. I think that just spurred some confidence, and 2 semesters later, 3, I meet someone else who'd failed like one paper, and the person was very dejected. I told the person, don't worry about it. I think that's where optimism came into be. Yeah, so I would attribute it as a journey. Yeah, not really something that I worked towards. Yeah,
All
sure.
right. And you said you failed one paper. That's when you're pursuing engineering.
Yeah, engineering and the ACC as well. Yeah.
Oh, you're so failed. You can just never go through SCC and scratched. There's always something. But you studied mechanical engineering. Is it something that you wanted to do, or maybe to become when you were a child, or how did it end up becoming?
When I was young,
Yeah.
one of my uncles graduated to be an engineer, and I fell in love with that. So from the word go, all the way since I was in class 4, thereabout, I knew I wanted to be an engineer. Come to high school, in Form 2, we had to choose between biology and science and physics. And I remember telling my best friend, Dominic, that you do biology, I do physics, so that I become an engineer, you become a doctor. Yeah.
So you had like an agreement.
Yes, but he failed me. But he's doing well wherever it is that he
So
is.
it's
But for me, I got into now engineering. So it's something that I developed a passion after seeing my uncle there. Yeah.
Oh, so your uncle was what kind of an engineer?
He's a mechanical engineer.
All right.
Yeah, so I also pursued the same.
And so you also spoken about your mom quite earlier on in terms of the encouragement. Maybe kuvunjika kwa mwiko, I think you mentioned you're saying that when you failed some of the papers. Growing up, what are some of the influences you had from your parents towards enabling you become who you are today?
The biggest influence is whatever it is that they were doing. Both my parents are entrepreneurs. Yeah. So seeing them run their businesses, but starting and running several businesses, I think to an extent contribute to who I am as an entrepreneur. Then the other thing is, I remember one day my dad would give me some money, then I would go to Shags, and I would be the person bowling because I'm the one with the money, The rest of the guys on a pesa, and I used to be really proud of that. So the belief in my dad giving me some little money, I think gave me some confidence in that as well.
Yeah.
So
what were your parents pursuing?
My dad was still doing some real estate and insurance, property management as well. My mom into business. She's tried several, from hotel, cereals. Right now she's still in cereals and farming as well.
And how was that exactly growing up in such a household? Like all your parents were just entrepreneurs. How was it going in such an environment?
I'll be honest, it was just a normal household. I wouldn't see any difference because that's what I would see all the time. It's only that right now when I look back, trying to connect the dots, you see the reason as to why I enjoy entrepreneurship is because in our family, there are so many entrepreneurs. I'll give you an example. In our family, we have quite a number of entrepreneurs, my cousins and all that. Yeah? And maybe in your family, there are doctors or there are teachers. Yeah. I don't think in our family have any doctor, but any. So most guys, they want to be a shara. Yeah.
And growing up in such an environment, what are some of the lessons that you learned from your dad and you learned from your mom just from observing it? And maybe were there any particular kind of values or principles that they passed to you growing up?
Yeah. Some of the things that I learned, especially say from my dad, would be record keeping. Like he'd always put papers in his pocket. Then while going to manage his property, you'd remove the papers, check on your name, whether you have debt and all that. So record keeping was one of the things. Then from my mom is about resilience. Beginning something, then it fails, then just begin again. Then an opportunity will find you when you are ready.
Oh,
you just have to, you just have to be doing something. Yeah.
Because you said mom ran several businesses.
Several.
And what are some of the lessons maybe just growing up that you learned from mom? Because you'd seen she started several businesses. What kind of businesses did she start? What did you learn from some of her failures?
The biggest lesson is resilience. Then the other thing is just believing in yourself. And the other thing is about exposure. Learn from other people. I remember one of the stories was, unless you move from point A to point B, you'll not know what is at point C. And point C could be hidden from point B. So my mom would tell me, you have to go to that corner so that you see from that corner what is on the next. So it's about resilience and being a go-getter. Yeah. I think those would be the things, yeah.
And in your path, at what particular point, did you have any particular exploits growing up in business? Did you try anything growing up?
No, I'll be honest, I did not try anything when I was young. I think that my first attempt in business was when I was in campus. Because there's a friend of mine, I think they were doing interior design. Then they were given an assignment to sew, like make mats, tapestry. Yeah? So I went to their room and I saw what they were doing. And I said, let me try. So when I tried, I enjoyed it.
Or to sew?
Yeah. Then I decided to pursue it. Then one day, a friend of mine had made like a Kenyan flag. One day, a friend of mine came to my room. I was in Mamlaka B. Came to my room, saw the tapestry, and they offered to buy it for 4,000. Man, I just sold. I was like, are you serious?
So you used to like sew rags?
Yeah.
And you learned it while
from
in
a friend.
campus? From a friend?
Yeah. So that was my first attempt in business. Yeah.
And how was it? How was that particular exploit?
No, it's such an. It was such an interesting thing. The only biggest challenge was time consuming. Yeah, it's not easy, but I think I'd learned the skill and I was pretty fast. Like a typical size mat, I would do it maybe in 3 days or something. I was pretty fast. And I remember slightly after campus, I got like an order of 30 pieces, which I delivered. After that, I got an order of like 300 pieces, and that's when I quit. I tried teaching other people, but they couldn't give me the quality.
The orders are actually growing because you mentioned like one piece will go for like 4,000.
Yeah, the thing is, I couldn't fulfill the 300. Yeah, I tried teaching a few people. I think most of my friends in campus must have learned something about that, especially guys that used to go with St. Paul's must have learned something, because I went ahead and even taught so many. The biggest challenge was just the quality, because now I couldn't get the quality that I could sell. Yeah, so I think that was the reason why I
So you just randomly quit the business after getting that big order?
Yeah, I
And
couldn't
were you
fulfill
paid a
it.
deposit?
No. I did not collect the deposit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my last order that I did other than the 13 was I got a carpet almost 3 meters by 6 meters, which I made.
Yeah.
But that was the last. Yeah, I still have photos of it.
So you just decided just to quit, and yet it seems very, very promising.
No, it was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something about the rugs. In campus, my 5th year project, I wanted it to be that because I'd seen the potential in that. And I remember my lecturer telling me, "You are thinking about business, not engineering." So they changed my project to something else. Yeah, so that was just the
So a
beginning.
lecturer discouraged you from doing what exactly it is you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I was supposed to be doing engineering, but here I'm thinking, personally, I'd seen the vision
potential,
in this, but now we are here. I can teach you how to make
anything that makes you very technical, I'm not very,
It's not
very
technical,
good
it's just handy skill.
I know. I can't even sew or even just do what's it called, just a button. I can't. I know. I suck at it. And then one of the core things that I learned from you is that while you were pursuing your engineering, you also wanted to you were pursuing ACCA. Were you doing both simultaneously?
I started by doing ACCA. Then
What drove you to it?
ACCA?
Yeah.
No, it was just immediately after school, we got an opportunity to go to Strathmore. And there was an opportunity for scholarship. But the scholarship was based on a few other things. So top performers in our school, we got that chance. So when we went there, we were given 3 options to choose. I remember there was ACCA, there was CPA, and there was IT. In my mind, I knew what IT was. I knew what CPA was I had, but I did not know what ACCA was. So I chose ACCA. That was the reason I got into it. But okay, I did not get the scholarship, but at least it was a way to, because immediately after campus, we used to stay out for 2 years. So it was a way to kill that time. That's why I got into ACC. Yeah, and luckily I finished, maybe, I don't know, 5 years later.
Oh, at
but
least you struggled through it.
No, I struggled.
Yeah, left in between. I was like, no, I can't finish.
It was tough, but
and
I
then
finished,
engineering was your priority in terms of pursuing engineering?
Yeah, engineering was my priority. In fact, when we were selecting campuses, selected mechanical engineering, University of Nairobi. Then I think the second option was mechatronics, JKUAT. Then I got the first option. Yeah, and I was happy to join the engineering
And then
school.
after finishing, after finishing your engineering degree, you went into employment immediately?
Yes.
Just take me through that particular journey of yours after having finished, your engineering. Yeah. So you finished with both a degree and also your CCA?
The certificate, yeah. What I did immediately after finishing school, I got an engineering job offer. But at the same time, the same week, I also got another opportunity, which was not engineering. Then I had to ask myself, what do I want to do? Yeah,
because you had 2 disciplines. You're an engineer, you're a chartered certified accountant.
So I asked myself, what do I want to do? And in my mind, I remember just telling myself, in engineering, my lecturers, professors, were telling me it's going to be factory work and all that. Then this other opportunity was to work in an informal settlement. That's Mukuru. So I said, I don't want to be in the factory. Let me try.
Why is that? Why the change in that? You studied this for like 4 or 5 years.
No, because my professors used to say it's going to be hot air in the factory and all that.
Yet
here the opportunity was to interact with young people. By the way, that was the thing, to interact with young people, to help them set up businesses. And I was interested in business, to an extent, Because remember, I'd done the embroidery work. Then immediately after school, I'd started selling tea leaves. I used to sell juice, fruits and juice.
Oh, so those are just side hustles?
Yeah. That was the main thing I was doing, selling tea leaves and fruits and juice.
Tea leaves?
Yeah, majan chai.
Oh, okay. All right, that's interesting.
How that came to be, maybe I'll share, was my current business partner. We were in the same class, so we met after school. Then we said, let's start some business. We got, how much was it? Maybe 5,000 for some space in Kangemi. Then I borrowed my uncle some table, some desk. He brought in his computer and a sofa set. That's where we were working from. Then the next thing we wanted was to look for capital to start some business. Then a sister to my business partner offered us tea leaves. If you're able to sell these things, whatever proceeds you get will be your capital. So that's how we got into selling.
Also, it was just like free stock.
Yeah, but not liquid cash.
Yeah.
But it was a good lesson because sales is everything in business. Yeah.
Also, you pushed, you sold it, made your cash, and then you got into doing.
But we learned that tea leaves was a very good business, so we kept buying, like replenishing stock.
So you're selling it to shops, or you're selling it to individuals? How is it?
We were selling it to shops, hotels, individuals on the roadside. My best market was High Ridge. Yeah. In fact, I would want to go back to that market. Those mamas really promoted me, as in, yeah, that was my best market. Yeah. Followed by Kangemi. The toughest market was Kawangware.
Oh,
no, it was tough. Kawangware guys were not buying.
Hallelujah. So that's Kawangware is full of lawyers.
No, but they were not buying. But they were not buying. But the other thing, if you look at it, the distance from Kangemi to Kawangware, the Mombasa Road, there are no people, so you have to walk.
Yeah, for a longer distance.
Yeah, before you get someone.
Also, like literally just hawking and going to the market.
Just hawking. It was just hawking.
And how are you combining? Because you've gotten your first job, you're also doing this side hustle.
At this point, I hadn't gotten my first job.
Oh, it was before that?
It was before. Yeah.
All right.
It was at that point that I got the first job. That's what I was telling you. I chose between engineering and now serving the young people. Yeah. Yeah.
And how was the experience? What was it called in employment? And why, when in earlier employment, were you also still combining with the other hustles?
Since I'd already started this business, when I got employed, my business became a side hustle, which was a good thing because over the weekends, that's when you'd sell. Then this job was, you are not needed to be in the office the whole time. Most of the time you needed to be in the field. So in the evenings you'd go sell. So I combined both. From the year around 2012, around 2015 thereabout, that's when I was at the Youth Banner. I was able to combine. At the Youth Banner, I started as a business advisor, went into training, then program manager. Then I left that place, went to a new place, Refuge Point. I was dealing with refugees. So Refuge Point is a good employer. So I was able to juggle with my side hustle. But right now it had turned from tea leaves and fruits and juice into an engineering kind of thing.
How did?
Because remember, when you're selling fruits and juice, we made some little money.
Yeah.
Then we bought our first toolbox, which I still have, and a welding machine. Because my business partner and I, we are passionate about engineering.
Oh, because you guys were both classmates in university.
And we are passionate about engineering. Yeah. So whatever it is that we are doing was towards helping us into the engineering space. But the goal was just metal fabrication. Yeah, nothing much.
So just buy the toolbox for welding and all that?
Yeah, the toolbox and a welding machine.
And how long did it take you to make that conversion? Because I know patience is a big thing. How did you transition out from this selling tea leaves to selling juice to saving to get this? How long did that take, and how was your discipline towards getting this?
I'll say it took us, it was a journey. So there was no measurement or measuring the progress. So it was a journey. Right now we are selling this. We've gotten some little money. Can we buy a welding machine? Then we just continue this. You're employed. Then we got some.
Oh, both of you were employed?
Both of us are employed. Remember the job I was telling you that I got?
Yes.
The engineering offer. I threw it to him.
Oh.
He got it.
Yeah. So literally both the offers you got, both of you literally took it.
He got it. But he wasn't there for so long. I think his IT skills were really high, and the guys felt this guy is just coming to disrupt our systems and all that. Yeah. And
at what particular point now did you decide now to set up 720?
720 was born in 2014, and the idea behind 720, the company, is we look at engineering and reverse engineering. So that's how you come.
So break it down to a layman.
Okay.
me.
Let's look at a complete circle.
Yeah.
A complete circle is 360 degrees. So you took that as engineering. Then you said we also want to do reverse engineering. Another complete circle. So 720, 360, 360, 720. And the goal is engineering and reverse engineering.
All right.
And the thing with this is we don't have to be pioneers in ideas. You can reverse engineer. That's how, by the way.
So to reverse engineer is literally to remake something that's already existing.
Yes. Like how, I think, is it Toyota or there's a car that
Toyota.
they had to open up the car first, see how it's done, then just do something even better. Yeah, it's one of the things that countries like China, that's how they, yeah, and that's how they've really gotten to grow. If Kenya were able to embrace such a thing, the sky is the limit, trust me. Yeah.
And what had literally prompted this particular idea of now setting up the business? Because you're employed, you're still running your own, what's it called, your own side hustles. What prompted this particular idea to come about?
I would say it was just to make an extra income. That was the main thing. Remember, after school, we were looking for money, right? Then you've gotten a job, paying you some little amount of money, but you want something more, yeah? Then remember the background I was telling you about my parents being entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So I think it was just something in me that was pushing me towards entrepreneurship. But moving forward, I'll say, I did not know that it would be what it is right now. In 2014, that's when we started. But in 2019, that's when now we narrowed down to the products that we make right now. So it took almost 6 years before knowing exactly what we are doing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And what eventually, when you started off, you mentioned that you didn't know what exactly you wanted. What was the picture then? You just like set up a business, let's just try out whatever that goes, or what was the picture then?
The picture was then, us guys we were using our engineering skills just to fabricate things. Beds, tables, windows.
Oh, so it was just general?
Yeah, it was just general. Yeah. But with time, because now we've gotten into full-time jobs, we asked ourselves, what is this thing that we can do better and faster that does not require so much skill? Because I'm not a good welder, to be honest, but I can weld something. So we decided, let's narrow down from the windows, gates and all that into two things. And we narrowed down to curtain rods and a bedside table, because it was very easy to make curtain rods. It was just buying the furniture pipe and buying the accessories. By then we used to buy the accessories. Bedside table ni chuma, as in is basic. So that was the thing that we thought about. What is this thing that we can do that can set us apart? Because remember, we have a full-time job.
Yes.
So,
Interesting. All right. So we're going to take a short commercial break, and then after that, we're going to find out how exactly the business get to come about as a result of COVID, and also how exactly did you manage to actually scale and grow to where exactly it is. So I'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the show. Before we went on a break, just kind of taking us through his journey as how exactly he started exploring business while in campus, after campus, getting into employment, mixing with the side hustle, and then eventually now starting to get your way through what exactly the business will focus on. And you mentioned before we went on a break that you first started focusing on curtain rods.
Yeah.
Why curtain rods? Because engineering, you told me you're into welding. Welding can do a lot of things. Why
sure.
curtain rods at the end of the day?
I'll be very honest. Curtain rods was a golden goose. I don't have a reason as to why curtain rods, but I've said it was the easiest thing to do by then. But looking back, it was a golden goose because the market for curtain rods is huge, and most of them are imported from Asia. Yeah. So curtain rods was easy for us to do. So we'd only buy the furniture pipe. Then we'd buy furniture pipe is this.
All right.
Is this. Then we would buy the accessories, the different accessories. Then the only thing we would do was to powder coat. Powder coat them into different colors, whatever it is that you want. So that's what we would do: buy, powder coat, then resell. So our first product that we used to make was a bracket, this kind of bracket. And we'd make manually, because I remember, I think I had mentioned, we bought some German machines from KCC. That would, Essingcraft machines, that would make this. And would fold the brackets manually before now we automated. Like per day we would do 100 pieces. Then when it came to 2020, we automated from 100 pieces to 100 pieces a day to around 1,000 pieces a day. Then remember, I said we were buying everything. So what my business partner and I asked ourselves, he's a very good engineer. So he told me, by the way, there's this other machine known as a power press that can help us do a few other things. So he invested in a power press and we automated the process. So we came from making the bracket manually, 100 pieces, to around 1,000 pieces a day. Yeah.
Also, you started now making out. And at that particular point, you still had your full-time jobs while processing, what's it called, getting the business to where exactly it was?
Yeah, at that particular time, I was still fully employed.
Yeah.
Luckily,
so how are you juggling at that point?
Luckily, it was during COVID.
Ah,
so you were working from home.
Online meetings.
No, I was very. I used to attend my meetings from my house.
In quotes.
No, I'll be honest. I used to be in the house until around maybe at some point 10, 11, because it wasn't so much work. Online, you can't manage businesses online the whole day. Then I would go to the workshop from there. So that's when now, in 2020 during COVID, this time gave me some opportunity to just grow the business. Because guess what, in 2020, COVID hit, but construction sector boomed.
Yes.
Like we grew like seriously in 2020. Remember 2019, that was the first time we put our records. And we did revenues of around 2.5 million for the whole year, and we were so happy about it. I remember taking the team that was there present, went for bowling, nyamachomas, in just to celebrate. So in 2020, we said let's double our target from 2.5 to 5. But we were able to surpass. We did almost 10.
All right.
Yeah.
And something that also you told me off camera before that, also when you're juggling between both, also got fired from your job that eventually pushed you to business full time. How was that particular season? Because I'm sure when you're employed, you're used to that salary at least to just help you go about, and then it just ended up being fired and making you now transition fully into business. How was that season for you?
It was okay. I don't know. Maybe I saw it coming at that particular time, because I remember during the employment, remember we were being told there'll be cuts, budget cuts, and
so
all that.
Warnings were coming.
Yeah, so warnings were coming. But I'll be honest, I think I gave my level best. In my mind and in my heart, I know I gave my best. But maybe from my supervisor, she's really good. She's really good, trust you me. Yeah, but maybe I wasn't doing the best. Yeah, so nikawekwa kwa performance improvement plan. Nowadays I use it in my business. No, I use it. I use it as in, I think it's we always talk about there's this story of who pushed me. Yeah, as in someone had to push me to get into this water with crocodiles, but getting out has been a good journey, as in successful. So I think it was just time, and so it wasn't bad, but I was fired.
And you mentioned that what's it called? So coincidentally, you're fired at the point where the business is starting to grow. So you mentioned like COVID being one of the factors whereby the construction industry was booming at that particular point, increasing the sales. What other factors how do you see the business also grow?
Despite the construction sector booming, automation made us to be a step ahead. Remember I told you we were making 100, now we are making 1,000.
Yes.
With 1,000, assuming you are consuming 90%, so you have extra to sell. So at that point, that's when we engaged a marketing person. I remember that person just came, she was selling juice to me. Then I said, this is really good. If you're able to sell juice, why not come join us and help us sell? Because we realized now we have extra, almost 90% of the products. What can we do with these things? We used to buy brackets. We used to make the brackets. The finials we'd buy, but we started making them. So in making them, we asked ourselves, how do we now sell them to the people whom we are buying from? Because they are getting them mostly from China. Yeah, mostly from China. And that's how we got into now selling into Gikomba, hardwares, and all that. And the reception was really good. Now from there, it was one product. Right now we have slightly over 30 products.
And how's been the process of now growing the business? Because I know most people starting a business is not rocket science.
Yeah.
But growing the business, that's where the work in any business. How exactly has it been growing the business? What are some of the lessons you can share from it?
I think the first lesson I would say in growing a business, I would actually encourage anyone be employed first, because when you're employed, you learn systems, you learn processes, managing people, you learn about leave days, offs, salary has to be paid at the end of the month. You learn about, I remember my previous employment used to have wellness days. You learn some of these things. So the thing that I would encourage anyone is be employed if you can. Then begin from where you are. Small, just start small. Compliance is important, but not full compliance. So when you start, I'll be honest, just start the normal compliance, say a business permit. That gives you an edge. Then from there on, when you get more products, keep adding. Then the other thing is keep looking at what other people are doing and what can you incorporate. And the best part would be if you're able to do a business and do it with someone, it becomes better because they bring in their value.
All right.
Yeah.
You've been an advocate of having a partner in the business, and I know I've sat here with so many entrepreneurs. I think I've always, let's say 50-50. Some discourage it, some encourage it. But for you, why do you advocate for having a partner in a business?
I would say because it has worked for me, and I see it. If I was alone, I wouldn't be where we are right now. Then the other thing is there are certain strengths that my business partner has that I don't have. Then it's like a seesaw. Saa zingine uko juu, saa zingine ako chini, unajua. Kama leo I'm here, maybe yeye ako pale kwa workshop. Business is going on. The thing with partners that I would encourage is transparency and just honesty. As in, we are getting into this and this is how it's going to be. It's not going to be easy because guess what? I remember when you are starting, we used to say, if I bring in business, I get 70% of the returns. Unakula 30 kuza ukuleta. But I told him, no, let's do 50-50. Because leo ni mimi, kesho ni wewe. So I really advocate for partnership because of balancing. But the other thing with partnership, if it can begin early, the better. Later in life, partnership inakuwa ngumu.
Why is it so?
That's what I feel, because early there's little money. Yeah, so it's we are talking about maybe 2,000, 3,000. Later in life, assuming I was alone right now, you're doing revenues of whatever amount, then you bring in a partner, you'd expect them to really match. But when you're starting, umeleta 2,000, umeleta 1,000, sawa. Next time umeleta 10,000, umeleta 15,000, sawa. As in, it becomes easier earlier on. Then I'll tell you about the value of partnership, skills. I remember for me in 2015, we applied for funding, like a grant from Tony Elumelu. Yeah. And I was able to get that. And got the money, put it into business. Later on, we applied for other funds. He did, we got. So the value of partnership is the strength. That's why I would really encourage it.
And how, within the business, how now distribute, what's it called? Is it 50-50? And how do you distribute responsibility across?
Yeah, right now it's 50-50. Responsibility, we just looked at our strengths. Kasema, umefanya ECCA, we manage finance. Umefanya, he's a good engineer. He's the one in charge of production. So the only gray area that was there was marketing, because we started with 3 departments, operations, marketing, and production. So I took operations because of ACCA. He took production because of his engineering skills. Then marketing, he was good at selling tea leaves. So I told him,
And in growing a business, I think you always speak about the good sides, you never speak about the challenges. Because I'm sure you've experienced challenges across the way. Just take me through some of the challenges you've experienced and how exactly you've been able to overcome them.
I'll be honest enough to say the challenges haven't been so many, especially when you're beginning, because we do not have so much expectation. But the biggest challenge I would say is that I'm facing right now is managing people. Yeah. Now with a team of slightly over 30, it's not easy to manage people. Guys come in with the expectations. You have your vision. So the biggest challenge right now is that. But the beauty is you go back to school class, cannot examinable courses. just other courses, then you learn these things. Yeah. Then the other thing is you bring in other people to work with you, professionals. Yeah. Right now we are doing advisory with a gentleman from Strathmore. We brought in a marketing manager. My business partner is not in charge of that. So the challenges, managing people, and the other things you learn from doing the business. Say something like sourcing. Some of the things that we source, mostly from China, like our machines, mostly from China. The first time we sourced, I think we were conned some little money. Eh?
Oh, oh, you talked to a fake agent?
No, by there I'll tell you one thing. Never send money direct. Never, ever.
What happened?
This guy, I think we sent some money. I don't know what we were buying. By then we were buying, in fact, we were not buying things for the business. We were buying because we tried other businesses, selling TVs and all that. So we were buying TVs, selling. So we sent money to the person, but the person did not deliver.
A Chinese?
Yeah, they did not deliver. But it was one of the lessons in business. It wasn't a lot of money. But now from there you learned using a safer platform. Either you talk to your clearing agent or forwarder, use Alibaba, Trade Assurance, as in those are some of the...
Oh, so you went there?
Yeah, so the challenges are sourcing, then the other now bigger challenge is about compliance kidogo. Kwa sababu, remember, compliance is very critical, but aim to comply pole pole. So if you focus on compliance from the word go, you may not do the business. Yeah. So that's the other challenge, but again, you just learn.
And what are the lessons from your end in terms of now scaling your business? Because I think you started this business, I think we were talking about earlier on, from your bedroom, you used to What are some of the lessons? So from someone who just thought about it in their bedroom with a very small capital and then to be able to scale to a business that's worth a couple of millions, how exactly, what are some of the lessons you can share to any entrepreneur watching this?
For any entrepreneur that would want to get into business, I think the first thing is team. Work with people. When you work with people, they're able to build on whatever it is that you have. And I remember mentioning to you that always begin. So first begin, work with people. Then when you work with people and you have systems and processes, think about automation. Yeah. So start, work with people, build systems and processes, then automate. After automation, think about distribution, then an ecosystem. Yeah, I remember, I'll give you a story. One of the guys that I work with, the operations manager, when he joined us, the first thing he asked us was, what's your vision? Man, there's no vision. No, there was none.
Vision equal bora pesa.
Bora pesa, that was the thing. In fact, the vision came in almost the sixth year. That's when you sit down and you realize, man, we are mass producing these things. So our vision should be about manufacturing. And we said, let's now manufacture for Africa. That was the thing, and we still work towards that, manufacturing for Africa with global standards. Yeah, now that's the thing. But when you came in and you told him there's no vision, he was like, how you guys operating? But right now ameingia kwa laini, ameona kwenye tunaenda. Yeah.
And the aspect of now also growing the business, the aspect of now capital. Because initially you started off with your, what's it called, selling the tea leaves, made some money, got into the juice business, made some money from employment. You literally like bootstrapped, but how have you been able to what's it called, input capital into the business and how to scale the business? Because you mentioned the aspect of machinery, getting the whole team. How have you been able to do that?
The first thing I'll say is having started, remember I was employed, so I was getting some little money from this other side. So kulipia kitu kama stima for the workshop, I would get like 5,000 from this side and pay for it. Then the other thing, in an agreement with my business partner, it's we reinvest. We reinvest all the money that we get. Since both of us were still employed, all the money that we get from the business, we reinvest. I would definitely encourage someone to focus on reinvesting as much as possible. When you reinvest and use your own money, it's not so much, and use your own money, you get to grow. Then the other thing is, previously we were using M-Pesa, like that's how I used to put our money, but we came into a bank, Equity Bank, and that way we'd see our money now grow. From M-Pesa statement, sasa ni uoni, unapata mekula nyama, pesa, lakini from bank, you're able to see your money grow. Then the thing is, remember you're working on systems and processes. Your money keeps growing. Guess what? Other people also start seeing. The bank sees, hey, you guys, you can do this. Then what do? They offer you a facility. You go for it. Then pole, beyond the bank saying, and I believe in working with other people's money, is if you have systems and processes and you're seen to be doing the right thing, you have the triple F. Family, friends.
Friendfuls.
Yes, you said it.
On your behalf.
I remember one of the guys who invested in us when he told him about family, friends, and fools.
Yeah.
Said, I hope I'm not the fool. But yeah. So the thing is, banks start giving you some money, but don't take money if you're not able to repay. Then once you have systems and processes, other people now start coming in. I remember I talked to a few of my cousins and friends. There are those who gave us some money, and we structured it in a way because we'd value our company at 100 million, and it wasn't proper valuation. It was just the figure that we thought we were worth.
In your mind.
Yeah, and you are like for
you're going to Africa, you're manufacturing.
for 1%, give me $1 million, Bob. Okay, most couldn't do that. So 2 years ago, we came up with a structure that give us debt for 3 years. We repay after the second year. The first year, we don't repay anything. We only pay you the interest. Then second and third year, we repay you the principal, an eighth of it. So for 3 years, you have your money. And we got like 4 or 5 people who gave us some money. So that way, and they believed in us. That way, you get the money, put in machinery. Get the money, get more people. Then, with time, you get even now more people coming to your space. Like recently, we got some money from Core Ventures. Yeah, they gave us some good money.
A grant or?
No, it was a loan. Yeah. The option that they had was debt or equity. For us guys, we said let's go for debt.
Oh, why?
No, because we believe our company is we are hoping to list maybe in the next 5-6 years. We're hoping to list in the NSE, and our valuation in our minds is slightly higher. So we say let's do debt, and since we can manage it, at least they gave us some money for that. Then you apply for grants. You also got a grant from KIEP 250. Yeah, that helps you in the things. But remember, the most important thing is systems, and you can be trusted with the little money that you have. Yeah.
You mentioned systems. Maybe for any entrepreneur watching this, what exactly are the systems that have been appropriate for you in terms of running the business? Systems,
the first thing is basic bookkeeping. We got in some money. It's been used to do 1, 2, 3. Then we sold a certain thing. The money was used to pay whatever it is that we'd bought and all that. Systems, again, is talking to your suppliers. We've been buying from you for the last 6 months. Man, give me credit. Yeah, because there's history there. So systems is from bookkeeping. Systems is from now departments in the organization. Remember I told you we started with 3. Operations, marketing, and production. Now under production, we have many other departments. So those are some of the systems, that you put in place.
And being through this journey, what are some of when you look back, what are some of the mistakes that you feel you've made?
Mistakes. Do mistakes have to be bad?
No, mistakes don't have to be bad. But maybe in retrospect of mistakes.
I'll be honest, I need to think about that. I think, but they are not bad mistakes. We've invested in some machinery that is now idle. Yeah. If you can come to the workshop today, I'll show you this machine is idle, that machine is idle. But guess what? That for us, it's a lesson. And I always encourage entrepreneurs and people, if you want to start something, come. If you're able to offer that advice, free of charge by the way, just come, let's talk. You may want to come, because there are guys who come then, they look at whatever you're doing, they want to start. Don't do that. Just come, let's have a conversation. I'll tell you, don't buy that machine. Don't buy this. Go buy this other one, So the mistakes I would say is buying a machine, then finding that it's obsolete, having not even worked for so long. Yeah, I think that would be the thing. So the thing is we encourage people, just come, let's have a conversation. Because for us to even help the government better the bottom economic transformation agenda to create employment, I think entrepreneurs, we need to be there and we need to share these ideas. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And before you come to a close, because time usually moves so fast, I have like 10 questions, quick fire questions. I'll ask you whatever that comes to your mind, just answer that. So the first question: what's the greatest risk you've ever taken?
Buying shares.
Shares.
Some company then collapsed.
Oh, in the stock market.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I don't know how much.
So you didn't get back your shares?
Is there a way I can get back my money?
It's gone.
No, but the company collapsed. I think it's not
which
fair.
company is that?
I can't even remember. Those are privately issued.
All right,
yeah.
all shares.
Yes.
All right, let me just run through it. Money or happiness?
Happiness.
Do you think you're more of a doer or a thinker?
Thinker.
What do you think the meaning of life is?
Optimism.
Who scares you?
Blackmailers.
What's your favorite day of the week?
Day.
Yeah. Monday to Friday. Which is your favorite day?
Monday.
What's been your best age?
25.
Would you rather have more time or more money?
Money. I need money.
Is it freedom or money?
Freedom.
What's your hidden talent?
I would say critical thinking.
And then the final question: what is one of your nicknames?
K3.
KK.
K3.
Oh, K3.
Yeah.
Oh, K3. What is it?
Kenneth Karori Kariuki.
Oh, I thought it was just KK.
No,
oh, I didn't get the first.
Yeah, Kenneth Karori.
And then before we close, what's that one lesson that you can share to an entrepreneur watching this proud of your journey? What's that one lesson or maybe a word of encouragement you can share to an entrepreneur watching this?
Begin from whatever place you are. Utilize systems and processes that are available. I'll give an example, the Hustler Fund. As in, for me, I think it's a good thing. Yeah, it's little money, but it's a good thing because it's free it's affordable credit. Then the other thing, work with people and don't be afraid to share information. Unless it's a patentable idea, the rest, let's share. As in, one last thing, let's look for ways to address the SDGs. Whether it's SDG 1 on, whether it's on poverty, which is something that we're trying to address. Whether it's SDG, is it 8 or 9 on decent work, decent economic work, then infrastructure. Yeah, as in get ways to address that. Then opportunity finds a prepared mind. That's the thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks so much, Ken, for having come to the show. So Ken is the CEO of 720 Holdings, which primarily are the ones who are producing the executive curtain roads, who are manufacturers right here in Kenya. So thank you so much for having watched the show. Hope you've learned a thing or two from our conversation. As always, you're coming through from the Capital Club, the place you need to be as an entrepreneur. My name is Ian Dennis, and this has been the Late Night Business. Until next time, I'll see you right here on KTN Home.